Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So continuing on with the vids for the Flysky Noble Pro Plus. On this one we're now into the assignment menu. Now I've covered this slightly on some of the other videos coming up to this, but this is basically where you are going to assign functions to a button. If you press this at bottom, you can scroll through and see exactly what functions you've got, assigned to what, and what they're all doing. So on each one of these you can go directly into it, or you can come back out to this menu so you can see what's going off. Now depending on what options you're choosing here really depends on what options you're going to get to assign. And the big difference between this and the non-pro is you can assign 2 functions to each one of these. So if we go in and you have a look, some of these functions could make sense to have them doing similar sort of things, but you can assign any of the functionality to pretty much any button. The only time this menu changes, so if we look at what we've got to assign as an actual button, so a lot of these sort of the brake and curve, the brake curve, throttle curve, this will turn that functionality on and off. Whereas if we go to an actual dial itself, then the options what we'll have will be to adjust this thing. So where it says steering curve, if it's a button, it will switch it on and off. If it's a dial that you're configuring, it will actually control the curve. So you've got the change of direction. You can assign a second function. You can also have an offset to it. So you can play about with all them. You can change the rate of it as well because it's a full controllable dial. And if we have a look at a switch, on a switch you can set the function. You can set a second function. You can change its direction, and if it says turn, you press it and it will turn that function on. If you press trigger, it'll trigger it as you hold it, so it'll turn the function on while it's held in, but once you let go it'll stop. If you want it to be a button where you press it and it changes it but doesn't change it back, set it to turn. You've always got the reset at the bottom. The things that are slightly different on here, so if we go up to these, you can have a 2-directional button. So this is moving your trim left and right, so it's trim 2, which is one of these on top. If you go in, you can change what it does, what steps. You can have it as a 2-position switch, a 3-position switch, or a normal switch. You can change the amount of steps it does when it's set to normal, so it'd control a channel in 2-step increments. You can change it to be forward or backward. You can also assign another function to it. But you can change the button type as well, but if you change this, it'll then stop other functions working. So we can have it working as 2 separate, or you can have them working together. So if we separate them, you can have what one button does, so you can have it as a button, not a switch, if that makes any kind of sense. So rather than left and right being one switch, it's now 2 separate buttons completely. And you can set a different function to each one. So if you move in the trim one way, it can trigger one channel. If you're moving it the other way, it could trigger the other channel or a separate function. Or you can have a channel and a functions assigned to it. So it does get crazy complex. Or if you have it set to 2-direction, then moving it one way and the other way will just be an on or an off, or a move so many in one direction, so many other if you've got it set to a channel. Again, the little tabs on the side, you can change what these do. So you can have these working together or separate. and you can assign a function to them. So at the minute we've got it as a 3-position switch. You can change it to S button and have it triggered or turn. You can have direction, forward or normal, normal or reverse. You can assign 2 functions to it. And then we've also got type, so normal, 2 or 3 position, direction, number of steps, function, so you can assign any number of functions to it. Even the iBus2 programming, so we can assign a lot of that to it as well. Or if you've got it as S button, they're going to work as 2 independent buttons. And again, you can assign various different things to them. And you've got trigger or normal. So yeah, quite a lot of configuration you can do from here, and it really depends what you're trying to do with these buttons, how you want them set up. It's quite in-depth, and a lot of these settings make a lot more sense when you're actually trying to achieve something. But basically, if you want to see what you've got assigned, you can go on that view, and it seems it's easier to see what you've got assigned to what and how you've got them set up. Or you can go straight into each one from here, or you can come out to this screen so you can see exactly what button it is that you're trying to set up. Hopefully that makes sense of what this is for and how you work your way around it. But thanks again for watching Wtf Rc Cars. If you find this kind of content interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, share to friends and family, and catch you guys again in the next one.